All right. Good evening, everyone, and hello, Bhante Sanathavihārī. Um, I only see Kevin saying hello, so hello, Kevin. So tonight, as usual, we'll start with the Metta Meditation, guided by Bhante Sanathavihari. And then Bhante Sanathavihari will also share some more on Dhamma on the subject matter, which is releasing negativity. And I see Cam and Catalina who say hello. Hello to both of you. And it's 7:30 p.m. now, so maybe Dante can start leading us in meditation. Thank you.
So first off, I'd like to thank Bhante and the other residing monastics for this opportunity to lead this meditation. So we will be continuing with our practice of metta, universal benevolence or loving kindness, starting with oneself, generating wholesome thoughts, loving kindness thoughts towards oneself. For example, may I be well, happy, comfortable, and peaceful. May I be well, happy, comfortable, and peaceful. Then, after generating metta towards oneself, we can begin to share this metta with those around us. May all beings in this room, whether large or small, human or non human, known or unknown, be well, happy, comfortable, and peaceful. And after staying here for a little bit, we'll move on to all the beings in the neighborhood, from the neighborhood to the city, from the city to the state, from the state to the country, from the country to the world, and from the world until the universe, up until infinity, without limits. So, this will be a semi guided meditation. I will start off each stage and then you can continue by yourself for a minute or two. Before we start, make sure that you're seated in a comfortable position, that your back is straight. And you can begin by bringing in your attention, redirecting your attention that's usually going outside, inside. And we can begin to generate loving kindness thoughts. May I be well, happy, comfortable, and peaceful. May I be well, happy, comfortable, and peaceful. May I be well, happy, comfortable, and peaceful. Really try to focus on that feeling, that state of benevolence, of loving kindness. Continue to practice on your own for a few minutes. Now we can share metta with all the beings around us. May all beings in this room, whether large or small, human or non-human, known or unknown, be well, happy, comfortable, and peaceful. May all beings in this room, whether large or small, human or non-human, known or unknown, be well, happy, comfortable, and peaceful. Keep practicing on your own. Now we can share metta with all the beings in our neighborhood. May all beings in this neighborhood, whether large or small, human or non-human, known or unknown, be well, happy, comfortable, and peaceful. May all beings in this neighborhood, whether large or small, human or non-human, known or unknown, be well, happy, comfortable, and peaceful. Continue to practice for a few minutes. Now we can think of all the beings in our city. May all beings in this city, whether large or small, human or non-human, known or unknown, be well, happy, comfortable, and peaceful. May all beings in this city, whether large or small, human or non-human, known or unknown, be well, happy, comfortable, and peaceful. You can continue to practice on your own. Now we can share metta with all the beings in our state or province. May all beings in this state, whether large or small, human or non-human, known or unknown, be well, happy, comfortable, and peaceful. May all beings in this state, whether large or small, human or non-human, known or unknown, be well, happy, comfortable, and peaceful. Continue to practice on your own. We can expand our metta to include all the beings in our country. May all beings in this country, whether large or small, human or non human, known or unknown, be well, happy, comfortable, and peaceful. May all the beings in this country, whether large or small, human or non human, known or unknown, be well, happy, comfortable, and peaceful. You can continue to practice on your own. Now we can share metta with all the beings in this world, on this planet. May all beings on this planet, whether large or small, human or non-human, known or unknown, be well, happy, comfortable, and peaceful. May all the beings on this planet, whether large or small, human or non-human, known or unknown, be well, happy, comfortable, and peaceful. The final stage, sharing metta with all the beings throughout the entire universe, wherever they may be, near or far, born or to be born. May all beings throughout the entire universe, whether large or small, human or non-human, known or unknown, be well, happy, comfortable, and peaceful. May all beings throughout the entire universe, whether large or small, human or non-human, known or unknown, born or to be born, may they be well, happy, comfortable, and peaceful. Now that your mind is calm, body is relaxed, you can bless yourself with your calm mind. By the power of the Buddha, the awakened one, Dhamma, his teachings, Sangha, his disciples, may you be well, happy, comfortable, and peaceful. Sadhu,
Sadhu, sadhu, do. Thank you, Bhante. So we have a few friends that have come to say hello. Ishara, Michelle, or Michele, I'm not sure. Adriana, Emerald, Maria, Sachin, Clemencia, Dreamy Pisces, that's a fancy name. And Fotodama, who says, we're very proud of Bhante Sanathavihari, a Mexican-American Buddhist monk. Sadhu. And Adriana also says, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. That was beautiful. Thank you. All right. So thanks, Bhante, for leading us in meditation.
So I'll say hello to my kids from Dhamma school. Hello, Sachin. I hope you're doing well. And remember to listen to your mom now that you're home and not going to school. Also, Sanya, too. You have to listen to your mom, okay? So once again, I'd like to pay my respects to the members of the Mahasangha, dear devotees of the Buddha, and those Buddhist friends that are joining us online. I was asked to give a talk today on releasing emotions. I think something like that.
Releasing negativity.
Releasing negativity. So there's many ways we can go about this. But there's one step in the Noble Eightfold Path that I feel, or that I think is very neglected or overlooked, and can be very useful for this. So that step is Samma Vayama. Samma Vayama is usually translated as right effort. Vayama is like effort or striving. I like to, kind of think of it as a wholesome exercise. Because I feel like us Westerners, when we hear like effort or striving, we're very like, let's get it, and I kind of want to avoid that. Exercise, I don't think most Westerners are that excited about exercise. We have huge obesity rates, right? So exercise, like exercising your rights, exercise can be used within many contexts. So I like to think about it as a wholesome exercise. And there's 4 exercises that the Buddha shares with us for us to be able to release negativity. So if we wait until negativity has already overpowered us or has arisen, it's kind of like too late in a certain sense. It's very difficult. If you find yourself overwhelmed by negativity, it's going to be very difficult to release it. So I assume many of you throughout the world are staying home tonight, or throughout the whole week, everyone's at home. So why are you staying home? Why aren't you outside? Why aren't you gathering with more than 20 or 30 or 50 people? You're trying to protect yourself. You're trying to guard yourself. Prevention is the first key. We shouldn't wait until we get sick. We should try to prevent getting sick. This is called samvara. Samvara means to guard. So most of the time when we experience negativity, we are reacting to some sort of stimulus. So samvara means you have to protect your mind from external influences. So if you know that a certain situation, a certain person, a certain activity, a certain song, a certain show is going to increase negativity, then you should protect yourself. You should prevent such a situation if you can. So if we know that a certain thing is going to trigger us in this way, we have to avoid it. We have to protect ourselves. That is samvara. So actually, that's the first step for Buddhist monks to train. When they asked the Buddha, they asked him, how is it that you train your monks? He says, the first thing I tell them is to practice indriya samvara, to guard the senses. That's why when you read the suttas, especially like the suttas that talk about meditation, the Buddha says, right, a monk goes into the forest at the root of a tree, away from distractions, away from stimulus, because he's guarding himself, trying to prevent being distracted. So the first thing we have to do to avoid these to avoid negativity is to try to protect ourselves the best we can. That is samvara. The next step is called pahana. Pahana means elimination or removal. So now here we start getting to, I think, what people want to hear, right? How do I get rid of it? I can't prevent everything. It's true, we can't prevent everything. Eventually, some negativity is going to arise. No matter how well we take care of ourselves, we're going to have to experience some negativity. So I think it was yesterday, the governor of California said he's expecting 50% of the population in California to get the virus. So we're trying to protect and guard ourselves, but 50% of us in California are going to get it. No matter what we do, a certain amount of us are going to get it. So what do we do when we get it? What do we do when we experience negativity? We can't stay locked in our houses forever, away from our family members that annoy us. You can't do that. You have to work in society. You have to do your duties. So what do we do when negativity arises in our daily lives? So there's a sutta called Vitakka Santana Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya number 20. And the Buddha here gives us 5 techniques to deal with negative thoughts or negative experiences or negative emotions. So he says, when you see an unwholesome state arise, an unwholesome thought, you replace it with a wholesome thought. So in the sutta, it gives an example. And it's not, it's not that useful for us anymore because the example is not as relevant, but we'll make the best of it. So not too long ago, furniture used to be assembled with these little pegs. So there wasn't any nails, and they were held together with these pegs. So a negative thought, a negative emotion, a negative state is like a broken peg. So if you wanted to fix it, you have to take it out and then put a new one in that's not broken, that's wholesome, that's complete. So in a similar way, when we're experiencing negativity, we have to introduce a wholesome thought, a wholesome state. So the good news is that you already did this before the talk. You were practicing Metta Meditation. So whatever drama was going on in your life, whatever fear, whatever anger, whatever worries, whatever greed, during this meditation, you were inserting the wholesome thought, inserting the wholesome peg inside. So you know how to practice pahana now. And you've been practicing pahana, removing the unwholesome states by introducing a wholesome state in the mind. The next step is to consider to consider the consequences of this negative thought or negative experience. So if I keep entertaining this negativity, what's the consequence? What's going to happen? You might not feel better. You'll feel worse. It might ruin your day. You might lash out to someone. There can be serious consequences if you get carried away with the negativity. It can lead to unwholesome actions in speech and body. So by considering the consequences, it will diminish the negativity. You'll start thinking, is it worth it? No, it's not worth it, right? I shouldn't make that comment. It's not worth it. I'm going to get in big problems. I'm going to get into a big argument. I just won't do it. So considering the consequences is a very important way to stop this negativity. So the Buddha gives us a bunch of steps, but our time is limited today. I can't go through all of them, but these two I found the most useful in my own practice for removing negativity. When there's an unwholesome state in the mind, I introduce a wholesome state. But not only that, instead of letting the mind think whatever thought it wants to think, I actively introduce wholesome thoughts in there. So many of us just go about our days doing what we do and letting the mind think whatever it wants to think. Instead of doing that, we should be always cultivating the mind with wholesome thoughts. So, in your daily activities, while you're sweeping and mopping, I figure many of you are cleaning your houses since you're at home a lot, or you should be. Doing your laundry. While you're doing all these things at home, you can be introducing wholesome thoughts into your mind. You can practice metta while sweeping, metta while folding, metta while brushing, metta while wiping, all the time generating wholesome thoughts in the mind. That way you don't give an opportunity for the negativity to arise. Negativity only arises if you leave it some room. But if you don't give it the room to be there, then it can arise. So now we'll move to the third step. We went through samvara, which is guarding, pahana, which is eliminating. Now it's bhavana. Bhavana is what we usually translate as meditation. But the more literal translation would be cultivation. So here the Buddha says, for the practice of bhavana, we're cultivating the 7 factors of awakening. So one way to overcome negativity, to release negativity, is through the cultivation of the 7 factors of awakening. First one, sati, mindfulness, attention, awareness. At least in my own experience, when I have become angry or some other negative experience arises, it's always after the fact that I realize, like, oh, now I'm angry, after I'm already angry. So it's because I didn't have sati, I didn't have awareness that this negativity arose. If you have sati to begin with, if you're aware since the beginning, then the negativity cannot arise. So sati is a great tool for the prevention and elimination of negativity. The next factor is Dhammavichaya. So Dhammavichaya is the investigation of states. So here, when negativity arises, you have to recognize, oh, there's negativity. Is this wholesome or unwholesome? It's unwholesome. Why is it unwholesome? Oh, because it's not good for me, it's not good for others, it's not good for me and others. So we're aware, then we're aware that it's unwholesome. Then is vidya. Vidya is like energy. So you apply yourself to the practice. You use some sort of little bit of effort in this practice. And also this will help you in the release of negativity. If you're not working towards it, if you're not doing anything, then you can't overcome it. So it does require some work. It requires some energy to overcome these negative states. Another way that these 7 factors help you to relieve negativity is to generate piti. So gladness, joy. Joy is a great antidote for negativity. I think that's why we have the saying like laughter is the best medicine. So being joyful is a great antidote for negativity. Passaddhi is relaxation. So to relax, to actively relax, is also a way to release negativity, because when we have some negativity, it usually manifests in the body as tension. So you can get rid of the physical part of the negativity. You can get rid of that physical tension through active relaxation. So like look at your body, and you can find where there's any tension, and let it go and relax the body. So then now we have Samadhi. So Samadhi is actually a result of all the previous things that you've cultivated. So while you're cultivating sati, while you're cultivating Dhammavichaya, while you're cultivating vidya, while you're cultivating piti and passaddhi, then through the right cultivation of these factors, it will take you into samadhi. Samadhi. So the unification of the mind. A wholesome mind, a wholesome state. The good thing about being in this state is that in this state, there cannot be any negativity already. So while you're in samadhi, you're free from all negativity. You're free from the 5 hindrances. The last factor is upekkha, equanimity. So in this level of equanimity, you can begin to see things completely clearly. And when you see things completely clearly, whatever interpretations you had of certain situations are gone. So negativity only arises because we don't see things as they are. We don't see reality for the way it is. But at the level of upekkha, you begin to see things as they are. And when you see things as they are, you no longer interpret them in such a way that negativity will arise in your experience. So this is bhavana. Now the final step, anurakana. Anurakana is the hardest part, actually. Maintenance, to keep doing it. How many of us make resolutions on New Year's? How many of us maintain those resolutions? We pay for a whole year of going to the gym, and we go 1 month. I'm going to start a diet. And then after 2 or 3 weeks, back to Dunkin' Donuts or whatever your vice is. So maintenance is very difficult, right? Maybe you go on a retreat, 7 days, 10 days. And first 2 or 3 weeks, you kind of maintain your practice. Then also that goes away. Even maintaining love in a relationship, how difficult is that? For those of you that are married, you know. Very difficult to maintain the love. That's the hardest part. When we start a new project, Or the first day, the kids that are going to school, they're excited. Oh, now I'm going to go to middle school and I'm going to high school. And you see new people. You feel like you're an adult now because you moved up. But after a month of being in school, again, you're tired of it. So maintenance is very difficult. So we have to really do this all the time. If you want to be free from negativity, it's a practice that you have to do from the moment that you wake up to the moment that you go to sleep. That's the best way. You have to take up this lifestyle, a positive lifestyle, a harmonious lifestyle, a wholesome lifestyle. That's the best way to not only eliminate negativity, but prevent it from even arising, which is the best. If we can avoid being sick, that's the best thing. Then we don't need medicine. So please work on prevention. Prevention is the key to all these things. If you can't prevent, as soon as you see the negativity, you try to remove it. Not only that, but you also actively throughout the day cultivate wholesome states in the mind and keep it going every day. Training and training and training. So learning to deal with negativity is a skill, like any other skill, running, jumping, playing the piano, learning a new language. You have to use it. So I think my time is up, and we can take some questions.
Thank you, Bhante. So I think there was a bit of a problem with the connection because I'm reading like from Michael, Minchin, and Yuri that say hello. And at a certain point, there is Michael that goes, anybody else having connection issues? And apparently a lot of people had connection issues, probably because the whole world is connecting on YouTube these days. So there are no questions as of now, but maybe since a couple of minutes ago they said, yay, it's working now. Maybe we can see if people have questions to ask Bhante. Okay, they're saying it was only for about 10 seconds, so it should be fine. Even the people here, our residents, are welcome to ask questions.
The live audience.
The live audience. The flesh audience.
What if I'm overwhelmed by negativity?
So when you find yourself that you're overwhelmed, the Buddha does give a technique. So this technique is not like a long-term technique. It's just to stop you from like doing some bad action, right? Or hurting yourself. So in the same sutta that I explained earlier called the Vitakka Santana Sutta, the last out of the 5 techniques that he gives, there's a certain sequence. The last one, like hitting the brakes, is, he says, it's like just like applying pressure, like grinding your teeth, right? Like, like, no, it's not worth it, right? Like, I'm not gonna do it, right? So that's the last one. When you feel so overwhelmed, all you can do is avoid creating negative karma. So you have to think, whatever I'm going through, at least I shouldn't hurt myself or hurt others. But we shouldn't wait for the house to be on fire before we start pouring water on it, right? So as soon as the candle falls over, you should turn off the flame as soon as it touches the ground. Don't watch it and, oh, it's burning the floor, it's burning the carpet, it's burning the walls, it's burning this room. And then once the house is on fire, then you go to your neighbor, hey, help me turn off the house. You know, where were you? I was there, I was watching it burn. And why didn't you call me earlier? Oh, I don't know. So that's what happens to most of us. That's how we are. We think it's okay to be a little angry. It's okay to be like this or to entertain this kind of thinking. And then it explodes, it gets out of control. And then, well, what can I do now? You know, if you call your neighbor, he's gonna say, good luck, it's done. the house is going to burn. So the real key is to prevent. And when the fire is small and it starts burning here, it's very easy to turn off, right? We had some water. You can step on it, cover it with a pan or a pot. So that covering with a pan or a pot is as soon as you see that negativity, you have to start thinking the wholesome thought right away. Oh, there's the negativity. Now start practicing metta, right away. Don't let it get out of control. I know we love to like fantasize about like all these negative thoughts about our enemies or people that we don't like, right? It's so enticing, like, oh yeah, I hate them. I wish this would happen to them, and I wish they'd do their job. And don't go down that road. Don't go down, because when you're doing that, it's like you letting the fire cross the house and start burning everything. So then when it gets too late and the house is burning down, there's nothing really much we can do. And the only thing you can do is stop from your neighbor's house burning down too, right? And that's like you stopping yourself from doing bad karma.
Thank you, Bhante. We have a few questions from online. Can you help explaining differences between metta, loving kindness, and karuna, compassion, and practices to improve both? This is a question from Cam.
So actually, all the Brahma Viharas, I'm giving the talk tomorrow on Brahma Viharas. So they're all the same thing, just to a different degree. So in the same way that you would walk into a pool and it's first like 3 feet, then 4 or 5, and it gets deeper and deeper. So metta is like the kiddie pool, right? You get inside, it's just a little bit. Then karuna is like you're getting deeper, mudita a little deeper, and upekkha, you have to start swimming and paddling because it's very deep there, okay? So metta is just recognizing that others are as important as oneself. So in the same way that you want to be happy, comfortable, and peaceful, you wish that other beings may be well, happy, comfortable, and peaceful. And karuna is usually translated as like compassion, but I don't really like that translation. I like kindness, because the opposite of what the Buddha explains as karuna is cruelty or violence, vihimsa. So instead of being violent or cruel, actions that hurt others, you do an action that is helpful, that is good for others. So karuna is really putting the metta into action. So there's 3 types of karma: mental karma, verbal karma, and physical karma. So the karuna is really the expression of the metta into action. So not only do you generate metta, but you start applying it to your thinking, you start applying it to your words, you start applying it to your actions. So if you want to practice karuna, do something. Say something. Smile. Right? I know when people go to Target, like I feel so bad for the cashiers because they treat them like they're no one. Like just it's a cold transaction, people move by. So next time you go to Target or in Walmart and you're fighting for toilet paper, give the person a smile. Say, no, here, you can take this roll. This is for you. So metta is this wholesome intention, and karuna is applying this intention. It's that intention behind all of our actions, behind our thinking, behind our words, and behind our actions. I hope I answered the question.
Thank you, Bhante. And Emerald is asking, how does one deal with one person who is negative in everyday life when practicing metta?
Avoid them if you can. That's the best thing. So if I know that, if I walk down a certain alley, there's a dog that chases everyone and it's going to bite them, I avoid going down that alley. I go another way, right? It's a little bit more difficult if it's like your mom or your husband, right? But you can approach the situation with compassion, right? So in some way, they're confused. They're suffering in some way. If they were happy, if they were content, if they were peaceful, they wouldn't be doing what they're doing. So when someone is that kind of person, you can see him like if they were mad. So if you knew someone had some sort of like mental disorder, like if your mother had some mental disorder and she started screaming at you and pushing you, you wouldn't hate her because you would understand she has some sort of disease. She has some sort of pathology. So you would have compassion towards her. So the Buddha actually said that we're all, crazy. Sabe putanjana umadaka. Like all humans are crazy. So when a human begins to annoy you, you have to treat them like they have some sort of disease, right? Oh, this person's crazy. Like I'm crazy too. So I have to treat them with compassion, like if you would treat a patient. So that's the way we have to deal with people who constantly irritate us, right? Treat them like if they had cancer, treat them if like they had some sort of deadly disease. And that kind of gives you a different perspective to approach the situation. But like I said, for the Samavayama practice, the best thing is to avoid if you can. Prevention is the best key.
Great, thank you. And Michael is saying, may all beings get the Karuna virus. And Adriana's comments are always great. She says, boom, wow, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. And hello to Andre and hello to Tullia. Ciao Tullia. She says hello from Italy. Finalmente un'italiana che ci segue. Ciao Tullia. And hello to Clemencia. And also Kevin is kindly reminding people to practice dana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. For those interested in supporting the monastery, you can go to buddhistinsights.com/donate. And Yudi has a question. Preventing unskillful thoughts is one thing, but we can't always prevent negative. She puts negative in the... I prefer unpleasant experiences. We can use these unpleasant experiences as our supreme teacher, right?
Yes, we could use anything as a teaching. Pleasant, unpleasant, negative, positive experiences. Anything can be used. I'm just very concerned that sometimes people might go looking for negative experiences to go look for a lesson. Mm-hmm. So that would be the wrong way to go about it. To think, well, in order for me to learn, I need to go put myself in danger, or I need to hang out with annoying people so I can overcome my anger or my aversion. So the Buddha on many occasions told the monks, don't go looking for trouble. Even if you think it's going to help you overcome whatever problem you have, we shouldn't go looking for it. So yes, when it comes to us, it's an opportunity for us to learn how to deal with it. But we shouldn't go looking for it. But positive experiences are also a learning experience too. So all experiences are an opportunity for us to learn.
Thank you, Bhante. And Jay is asking, I tend to be negative when I see big picture patterns of social equanimity, etc., in operation that I can do nothing about. How do I let it pass more easily? This is Jenny.
So we have to understand that, one, it's the nature of samsara for there to be inequality, for there to be suffering, for there to be pain. And you're not the Atlas. You can't carry the world on your shoulders. You just have to do what you have to do. And yet you can take comfort in the good actions that you have done. I think that's the best remedy. So just remember all the positive things, all the good things you've done to try to change this world, help your family members, help yourself, and rejoice in those good actions. That's the best thing. You knowing that you've done something in this world. You might, by yourself, you might not be able to change the entire world, but you've made some sort of impact in the world to the people that live around you. So just really, instead of overthinking all the problems in the world, really focus on all the good things that you've done. And by focusing on all the good things that you've done, they'll actually motivate you to do more good things. And if you're motivated to do more good things, then you'll actually change the world more. So really focus on the wholesome actions.
Thank you. And Kevin is asking, easy question, I think. Bhante, in your version of spreading metta, does the universe include the various realms as described in Buddhist cosmology?
All beings without exception, wherever they may be, in whatever state. To the Avicii hell, the lowest one, all the way to the Brahma world, right? So the top one, and even the ayatanas. They don't need it, but we can spread it to them too, right? They're already rich, but just in case, if they want some extra frosting on the cake, if they're willing to accept our frosting, we'll give it to them. So yes, all beings.
Thank you. And that was, I believe, the last question, unless another one pops out in the meanwhile. Well, there is a comment. Excellent. And Adriana has her cute emoji laughing while crying faces. So I think everybody's happy with your answers. All right. Well, thank you so much, Bhante Sanathavihārī, and thank you all for joining us again on YouTube. So we're meeting here every morning at 8 a.m. For Sutta study with Bhante Suttazo, and then every evening at 7:30 p.m. we'll have meditation and a talk. Tomorrow we'll have also a special talk from me. We'll see how that goes at 1:30 p.m. And on Sunday, we'll have our first online day-long meditation retreat. So we can all practice together. And we're getting actually one last question, I think. Or maybe it's a comment, I don't know. It says, I realize the less I pay attention to negativity, the faster it goes away. And lately, I barely see that arising. Thank you, Bhante. It's great. Wonderful. And hello from Michael and Monica. That's great. All right. And last invitation on our Facebook page, there is a little fundraiser to help provide medical supplies to Italy that even though the whole world is having a lot of problems due to the virus. In Italy, it's particularly tragic, and obviously I am from there, so it's been quite challenging for myself to follow the news, and also being here in this area where it's upcoming news. So if you'd like to support people in Italy, please go to facebook.com/Buddhist Insights, and there is a little fundraiser that has been posted for this beautiful organization, Specchio del Tempo, who is doing amazing work in Italy to provide all the hospitals with medical supplies so that they can help people who are in hospitals. So there is a lack of lots of things because a lot of people are sick and are in crowding of the emergency rooms. So let's spread the Karuna virus together, and hope to see you tomorrow again to practice Dharma. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.